It's very rare for me to pick up a game that's in early access, especially straight away from launch, and it's even rarer for me to buy a game that is online only, at least in its current guise. But Turbo Golf Racing for me has bucked the trend since day one when I played its demo in Steam Next Fest. Something instantly clicked with me and I fell head over heels for this game, and I'm delighted to say that that same sentiment carries through to its early access release, which happened last week. In Turbo Golf Racing, you play as one of 8 players in an online lobby in a 3-hole round of golf. But you aren't golfing necessarily. It's very similar to Rocket League in that you will be controlling RC cars with ginormous bumpers on the front, bashing oversized golf balls down the course. Unlike real golf, which is stroke play, Turbo Golf Racing follows the golf gang vibe of trying to get you to speed freak your way to putt the ball in the hole as quickly as possible. You're in a race against the other 8 people, so the first one into the hole gets maximum points, and then you get descending points down for whoever else reaches the hole within the set time limit, and then you carry this across 3 holes, and whoever's got the most points in the end wins. It's really simple, it's chaotic, it's fun, but all of that golf theming carries across really well to this kind of golf putting racing game. So, your RC car, very easy to control, very nimble, very fast, very fluid and arcadey to drive. But it has a boost. You choose when to use that boost, because when you then hit the ball, that can then boost and hit the ball further, but it could be that you're boosting to reach the ball as quickly as possible to try and cover as much ground as fast as you can. The fairways have massive disco ball style power-up areas that you can then drive through to charge back up your boost, and this is a real critical key piece of gameplay element, because there's also plenty of sand bunkers, and that will slow down your ball, but it will also slow you down too, and so you'll be trying to actively avoid those unless it's strategic for you to try and line up something for maybe a more simpler shot later on in, or a shorter shot, later on in the game as you go through. You don't interact directly with anyone else's balls, although you can see them as you're racing towards your end goal. But there are power-ups in the game as well, and this can be largely for either recharging your boost with boost juice, for want of a better phrase, but there are also shields and missiles, and what you can do is pick up a missile and throw it and aim it at a different player and it will go off and try and hit them. That slows them down slightly. It's a little bit like a cartoon Acme hit in a way, but if you've picked up a shield, then you can trigger your shield and defend yourself from one of those shots if you're just about to tee yourself up for a really good shot and you don't want to be distracted. In reality, though, these kind of power-ups are nice for changing something up by maybe half a second to a second or so, but skill and precision and speed are the ultimate winners across the whole game, and that's why I think I really love Turbo Golf Racing, because it's skill front and centre, and even though you're paying actual money to get your foot through the door in what feels a little bit like a free-to-play setup because you're online only, there's seasons for content for you to kind of grind for and get in-game currency for and then buy and customize everything for. But fundamentally, everything around gameplay and skill can't be gamed, and that's really crucial for a game like this to work very well. There are some minor little tweaks that you can make to your car though, and these are called power cores. They're found and unlocked largely through the single player experience, which is all about racing against the clock to score stars and unlock the next hole so that you can practice before you go online if you want to. But these power cores do things like change up the way how your ball might land in a bunker and maybe not slow down so much. It could be that you trade off boost amount for boost speed so that you go faster but for a shorter period of time. There's also other ones around being able to have prolonged shields or something like that. And there's a load to unlock as you go through that single player experience. The downside for me is that the single player experience still requires an online connection, and I think that that's, in this day and age, is a poor show of things. And I hope that in the long term Turbo Golf Racing does have an offline mode with bots to race against, just to factor in against this whole when the server shuts down you lose your game. And I think that's a terrible gaming practice and I abhor it with every fibre of my being. So that's for the future, please, Turbo Golf Racing, because everything else here is an absolute stonking beauty fest. Getting online, seeing the other players all racing around you, trying to get through these topsy-turvy courses that have bunkers, out of bounds areas, huge boost pads. The beauty of the fact that your RC car also can have wings. So when you're up in the air and there's quite a lot of like tunnels with giant gusts of winds and turbines going through them, you can then glide your RC car around. And it's really helpful actually, because you can sometimes go further and faster by gliding, or you can then unglide and pull back in your wings and drop to the floor quicker, which can be quite handy if you've found that your ball hasn't quite gone as far as maybe you were going to. So there's a lot of nuance in around all of that. It just plays beautifully. I've had no problems with online connections. The lobbies are always full, and admittedly this is still like 2 weeks in, but the lobbies are still full. I'm having no problems or delays finding a game. The games work beautifully. It dishes out enough XP and currency for you to then be able to go into the shop. A couple of games gets you enough for you to be able to then unlock maybe a new bumper or a new like Jetfire colour or something like that. Tons of customization on the cars. You've also got season unlock passes as well, which allow you to unlock, say, more ball types and varieties. They all handle the same, but they look different, and that's cool as well. You have full range over the colour of your car as well, and like a primary and secondary colour, as well as icons too. So there's lots to dive into and customise. It doesn't exactly scrimp on any of that, but it definitely rewards you for finding yourself engrossed in the game, which I found very, very easy to do. Because Turbo Golf Racing is online only at the moment, you need to kind of know where the roadmap of this game is going. So initially it's just kind of doing some bug fixes, but then the roadmap currently on the horizon is a ranked mode and additional pickups and in-game stats, with then a new biome with another 18 holes obviously coming with it, global leaderboards, cross-platform parties, because this is going off to consoles at a later point too, private lobbies, different cosmetics, and an early access to Season 2 of content as well. I'm not even sure how long Season 1 goes on for, but I'm just having too much fun enjoying to notice. This is a wholehearted, full-on recommendation from me. Obviously, coming with the caveat of you will be connected online at all times, so you need a stable, constant connection for this game to work for you. Otherwise, you're locked out from this experience, which is always a shame in today's modern age. Written review will be over on highplayinggames.com. There will be plenty more gameplay of this on the channel coming up in random streams, because it's just the perfect party game to just dive into for 15 minutes, have a knockabout, a laugh, and watch other people fail or beat your ass in Turbo Golf Racing. Take care. Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a completely independent media outlet supported by people like you. The goal is to create the best possible content that cultivates a richer indie scene for games as well as music and entertainment. To find out more and to get involved, visit patreon.com/higherplane network. Your support makes all the difference, and in return you'll gain access to bonus content and downloads. Thank you for watching.